Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we love to talk about movies. Today we're going to do a review for Infinity Pool. I saw this a few days ago now. I think it was Tuesday. Earlier this week. We're on Friday now, so I've had about half a week to sit on this film. I think it definitely needed some processing. And yeah, let's just dive on in. We'll start with the synopsis. So in this movie, James and M. Foster are enjoying an all-inclusive beach vacation in the fictional island of Latolka when a fatal accident exposes the resort's perverse subculture of hedonistic tourism, reckless violence, and surreal horrors. So I knew absolutely nothing going into this film. I knew that it was horror, and that was about it. I didn't even know that I was going to recognize some actors in this. So there's Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth. I've seen both of them in a variety of films. Mia Goth's been doing a lot of horror lately, so I wonder if I imagine she's intentionally kind of carving that out. I wonder if she'll well, I haven't looked at her whole acting roster. All that I've seen of her is horror films. If that is the case, I'm curious if she is going to eventually try some other things or if she likes kind of being in the horror realm. But I like seeing actors in movie or that I recognize. I think it helps me kind of jump into the movie a little bit more. But yeah, this was an experience. We'll call it that. I think it is a film that I think takes a little bit of time to process. It's not one that I would ever say that I like enjoyed, mainly because it's horror and it's like the horrific kind of horror, not just like the suspenseful, scary type of horror. And yeah, there's some truly disturbing stuff in this film, at least for me, and that's just not like in general. I'm not huge on horror to begin with, but it's been growing on me. But I definitely go more for like the suspenseful stuff, and not the like over the top violent. Like I can sit through pretty much anything, but for something that I would say I like enjoyed, a movie like this does not quite fit that category. So it was an experience, and yeah, it's different. I'm still not really sure what to think of it. I think it does a good job of like setting up characters and having some story throughout. So I liked that. It definitely held my attention the entire way through. But there were definitely some scenes that I would have probably preferred to not. I'm like, man, do I really want to have this imprinted on my brain? I'm not sure. Still processing that one, but it's interesting to have that as an experience, I think. And yeah, I do like that it's kind of like it examines the psychological decline of an individual, and that is definitely something that can be very horrific. There's a couple things that the movie does that kind of are very strange and at least like plot devices. Without getting into spoilers, I think there's some setup and some things that are just part of the story that make it very interesting, and I think it was a well crafted horror film. I think for the most part, there are some things that I saw coming. Maybe they'll be less obvious to other people, but if you're gonna have twists, it's nice when they feel like twists, and these ones didn't feel like twists for me. But that said, I think the story was well crafted. I thought it was well shot and well acted, but it's still just a disturbing film at the end of the day. I still don't know how to feel about it. So I think for that reason, it's solidly in the C category for me. It's not a movie I enjoyed, but if you like kind of disturbing horror, I would recommend it. But I don't think I would recommend it to myself because it's just not my type of movie. I still don't know if I'm glad that I have the experience. That's kind of why it's in the C category and not further down into like the D category. There's definitely some horror films that have made me just like want to stop watching it and leave the theater, but I finished it so I can review it, and actually having seen all of it. This one didn't quite get there. It gets very close, especially in the third act, but there was enough stuff that held my interest to make it not like a movie I would say don't go see. But it really depends on your tastes. I Yeah, it's a conditional recommend. If you like horror, if you like the kind of psychological horror and disturbing horror, then I highly recommend it. But if not, this is not going to be a movie for you. So, if you had a chance to see it though, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like horror films? If you do, is this one that you enjoyed? I'm always curious to kind of learn or talk about those things because I don't. It's not a movie that I would say I enjoy, but I'd love to hear if there are people out there who enjoy it and like they just really like this sort of a thing. I think that's interesting because that's not something I can relate to, but I think it's great because there's definitely an audience out there for a film like this, and it just gives different perspectives on things because I can only have a limited perspective. Being a single person. So I like hearing other people's perspectives if they're willing to share. So share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.